Hi guys, it's Mark here from Progressive Parts. We're going to be fitting the new VAGSport Resonator Delete on this Golf GTI Mk7. We're going to show you briefly how to do it. So the first thing we need to do is lubricate the front clamp, just so that can be soaking in. The second thing we're going to do is measure up the pipe and make sure everything is right before we cut anything. So this is the new oversized pipe. It should give a deeper tone and a sportier note, and also enhance the DSG gearbox pops and bangs. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that where it's flared out to the larger bore is measured up with this. It can't be too far forward because it simply won't fit. So we need to line that up there, and then as we move back to the back of the car, we can then find out where we're going to cut it, which will be here where we've made a small mark here. So always do this first. You don't want to cut it first and then find out later that it's too short or too long. You want to be measuring twice, cut once. So there's our mark. Let's get the cutter out. Okay, so we're going to be using this strap cutter here. You can use an air hacksaw or a hacksaw if you wanted to. We tend to find that this just gives a nicer, neater cut. And you know, you're going to be putting this car back to standard probably at some point, so it's just nicer and easier to get everything back together and give it a nice even cut. So we're just going to neatly rotate that round on our mark, and that should eventually cut through. This is stainless, or part stainless, on the original system, so it is a lot harder than just your regular mild steel exhaust, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get through. So just take your time, be patient, you'll get a nice even cut and it'll be nice and neat. So we're now going to undo the front clamp. We're going to do this before we release the rear exhaust hanger, just because it stabilises the exhaust a little bit better, makes it a little bit easier. We searched long and high for Ed China's famous orange gloves and couldn't find any, so we're using black ones. But still, look at that, it's coming across off just as easily as it does on the TV. I wonder why that is. So this is a rear exhaust hanger. Everything's better with a little bit of lube. Makes it a little bit easier to get everything off. Now we have got an exhaust tool here that we use, but you can do this by hand if you really want to. And you just have to struggle and sweat a bit more than we do. There we go. The great thing about the GTI is that you've got these braces here which the exhaust can now hang on, so nothing drops on you. So all that you have to do is, you don't have to remove any of these braces, front or rear, because as you lift the exhaust up and move the sleeve down, you should just have enough to slide the exhaust back. And slide it forward and out of its position. So the first thing we're going to do is slide the rear pipe clamp on. Just makes it easier to get everything into place. We're going to slide that up out of the way so it's not hindering us. We're going to do the same thing on the front pipe clamp. We're going to move that back as well. And then feed the pipe over this rear brace. And get the front sleeve over. We'll then get the rear exhaust hanger on, so it's in place, and then we can pull the rear pipe up to suit. And they should fit pretty closely together if you've marked them and cut them right. And as you slide the sleeve over, should be a nice tight fit. Okay, so we've now put the front sleeve over both pipes. We just need to raise it slightly up so it's nice and level, and then we can tighten up these nuts. One of the great things about these VAGSport kits is that they utilise the original front pipe clamp, and because the sleeves are quite large, they do allow you for a slight margin for error. So if you're doing it yourself, you do have a little bit of leeway, but you can make a very slight mistake. Obviously it's not great, we prefer everything to be perfect first time, but you know, it does happen, so you've got that little bit of a buffer there if you need it. So check everything's nice and tight and secure, and then we're ready to fire it up. So starting from the front of the car now, you can now see the catalytic converter is still in place, so it's not going to affect your emissions. The pipe then comes down through the flexi, and it is one now straight, continuous, smooth pipe all the way through to the back box. Nice, even, smooth flow, exactly what you want.